it's very, we're a bit silhouetted, but we're in Peguera. You can see the beach behind us. It's really, really hot, so we're going to search out somewhere for a cool drink. It's just after midday, and we are mad dog to meet. Anita's on her way already, and we've just come down to Peguera. It's Tuesday today because it's market day in Peguera, but we've come down to the beach as well. And you can see over there, this is not the normal beach that we would come to in Peguera, but it's full, it's crowded. You might see there's a red flag here, and the red flag means that you shouldn't be going in the water here, or you shouldn't be on the beach here, because there's been a little bit of contamination. The good news is that they're dealing with it, and this van here is a local council van. They're going to test the water to see how clean it is. So the girl's actually just taking samples of water, which they'll take back to the laboratory, and they'll do this on a regular basis. There's only this small area that's been cordoned off because this is where they've detected some contamination. So they're taking samples, and they do it fairly regularly, and they'll be testing the samples to make sure that the water is safe, and then they'll change that red flag there to a green flag. So at the moment it says no swimming here. As we walk along a little bit further where the pedlos are, then actually the cordoning off area for swimming, it goes on quite a way, much further than I thought, and they've actually got barriers on the beach. I don't know how the people here realise what's happened, but there's been a spillage of some sort, and they're going to take samples at different positions along the beach. So they've done the first one, and I think she's got 3 bottles in total, and then they'll take those bottles back to the laboratory and do an analysis to see if there's any contamination. So a bit unfortunate and a little bit of a mistake, but these things do happen from time to time, and they do capture it here very quickly because they're constantly doing samples and testing of the water. Have in the past taken groups of children to the laboratories, which are really just near to Magaluf actually. They've got a sewage works there, and we take the children to have a look to see how the sewage works. But while they're there, they have a look at the laboratory where they do all the testing of the different samples. Me being a chemist, of course, that's really quite interesting. And they do samples all over the island, not just the seawater, the tap water, and any water that's around. It gets tested, and there is a website where you can actually see the results of the analysis, and it's amazing really, even in a city like Palma, that some areas the water's very good, and in others it's not so good. None of it's bad, it's just not so good, and the levels of certain chemicals are a little bit higher. So this beach, big beach, lots of parasols out, has a yellowish flag today. It's not a green flag to indicate that it's safe, because about half of the beach is considered not safe. So there's nobody swimming from my right, so I'm at the edge of it. So from the right here, all of that area over there, no swimming, and then over to the left it's deemed to be safe. So they must have done tests along there to find that the water's clean, and I think it was just due to an accident. I've been watching some of the news in the UK, and they're having far more serious problems with their effluent going into the sea, so it's not something that is just happening here in Peguera. Well, it's getting a little bit too hot for us actually, so we're not going in the sea, and we're not even going to walk along there because there's really very little shade. So we're going to go up and go up into the village and see if we can find somewhere to have some lunch. It means going up some steps. We're back up on the main street now, and it's really getting quite uncomfortably hot to walk. So we're just going to seek out whatever we can find really, not sure. It's quite early for lunch, it isn't 12:30 yet. So some of the restaurants won't be open. We were going to go to La Pampa. I've just seen a sign to say La Pampa is closed until 3 o'clock this afternoon. Fancy yourself on a quad, then Peguera is one of the places you can go. And this is actually a guide here. He's got one that will tow you out. He's got a big boy one, and then they've got the little boy ones behind. And they go off in convoy, and the leader will actually show you where you can go. Nice view down to the sea from here. See somebody with a t-shirt on that says Stranger Things. So this restaurant in front of us is La Pampa, and it's where we've been a few times and had really good menus of the day, but unfortunately they don't open until 3 o'clock, so it will be a very late lunch, and it's not something we're into. So we'll give La Pampa a miss, which is going to be a shame, but it gives us an opportunity to find somewhere else. Neptuno over there do homemade paella. Or tapas. Try that, or do you want to go further up? Alright. There's one we saw further up, which I think in the very, very distant past we may have been to. It would have been 15, 20 years ago. Pharmacy across the road, but I can't see a temperature on their sign. Pharmacies over here usually have thermometers on the outside, which give you an indication of the temperature. Just going past the Indian here, which we quite enjoyed when we were here recently. And it's now, that's getting ready to open up. But for meals, it's still a little bit early. You need a dentist. There's a dental practice across the road there. There's a BIP supermarket. Find them dotted around the island, and they'll have what you need if it's just the basic necessities, and might pay a little bit of a premium just because of where they're situated. There are a few clouds in the sky, but they're not really being very kind to us today. They're not providing any shade at all, and the shade is actually in the middle of the road. This is the number 102 bus. It's one of the bendy buses that will take you from Peguera to Palma. Well, it's a bit unfortunate. The tapas bar that we were hoping to go to is also not open, so we're actually going to make our way back to the car. I think we're probably going to go to Meson Caliu, a place we know that there's a menu del dia. Hopefully they're open on a Tuesday. Check that, but we'll find out. If not, we'll find somewhere. So we're going to leave Peguera now. We've been to the market, we've been down to the beach, but didn't do much of a walk because it was just too hot. I hope you liked this short video. If you do, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video. So bye for now.
Bye.
Here's a little postscript to our video of Peguera. We've just crossed the road, and there's a thermometer which tells us that it's 39 degrees. Feels like 39 degrees, and nobody should be out walking at 39 degrees. So we're not going to do any more. We're going back to the car and find somewhere reasonably cool to have lunch. And by the way, restaurants can put their temperature down to 25 degrees, so that'll feel quite chilly after 39. Thanks, see you in the next one. Bye for now.